St James's Park is part of the Royal Parks network and is located in the City of Westminster in central London. It is at the southmost tip of St James's area, which is named after the leper hospital dedicated to St James. The park is Grade 1 listed on the Register of Historic Parks and Gardens.
History.
In 1532, Henry VIII purchased an area of marshland in order to turn part of it into what we know today as Whitehall. The rest was left as marshland. On James I's succession to the throne in 1603, he ordered that the park be drained and landscaped. And exotic animals were kept in the park, including camels, crocodiles, an elephant, and exotic birds, a familiar trait which you'll continue to see today. Charles II later opened the park to the public and used the area to entertain guests, mistresses, and socialites of the time. The park became notorious at the time as a meeting place for impromptu acts of lechery, which is a fancy way of saying it was an old hookup spot for the upper class. In the late 17th century, cows lived on the park, and it was the place to buy fresh milk. In the 18th century, parts of the old canal were converted into land for the horses' guards and Buckingham Palace for Queen Charlotte. Also in the 18th century, George IV had the canal converted into a lake, and the former straight paths were converted into winding ones to give the park a more romantic feel. At the time, Marble Arch was also constructed here at the entrance of the park, but it was later moved to the beginning of Oxford Street, where it sits today. Today, the park is a very popular walking and lounging spot. It has a lake with 2 islands and lots of open space for sitting on the grass, either under the canopy or in the open air. A subtle continuation of the exotic animal tradition still continues, with lots of varieties of waterfowl, squirrels, parrots, geese, and even pelicans. Interestingly, the pelicans have been in the park since 1664. They are often spotted flying from the park to London Zoo in order to get some more food. The bridge crossing the lake offers great views over the city to the south side and Buckingham Palace to the north side. Duck Island Cottage is now used as offices for the London Historic Parks and Gardens Trust. Today, St James's Park is one of the parks which form a near-continuous chain of parks, which includes Green Park, Hyde Park, and Kensington Gardens, all with their own unique features. So if you're looking to have a long day of park walks or picnics, consider these as options.
What's around?
In the immediate surrounding of the park, you have Buckingham Palace, the Mall, the Horse Guard, and direct access to St James's, Westminster, Whitehall, Green Park, and St James's Palace. And within minutes walking is Parliament Square, Big Ben, the Thames, Victoria, Hyde Park Corner, Trafalgar Square, the National Gallery, Piccadilly, Leicester Square, and the list goes on. The closest stations are St James's Park, Victoria Station, Green Park Station, Westminster Station, and Charing Cross. The park is also handy if you want to grab a hot drink, food, or booze, as they have little kiosks dotted on some entrances. There are also toilets in the park, and a sit-in cafe, should you so wish. There's also a playground for weans and drinking fountains. If you want to visit the park, it's fully open to the public and is accessible on all sides.